Welcome to Senior Musician Success, where I try to help senior musicians navigate some of today's technology, of course, and industry. But one of my favorites, of course, is the software Band-in-a-Box. And again, it's really great right now, especially because all this AI stuff that's going on. I think we can get better with using Band-in-a-Box as a better tool. And this product does a ton of stuff. So it's always interesting things that I learn, and I like to share with you guys, the things that I learned to try to help you as you navigate through the difficult menus that are embedded within the program, because it's very powerful. Now, today, I want to talk about the DAW plugin. And the DAW plugin is a piece of software that came out. I think they put it first out in 2025, but anyway, it's really something for 2026. And what it is it's a VST, and a VST is a plugin, right? A virtual machine plugin. It's called VST for Virtual Studio Technology, and it replaces hardware. Now, what this plugin does is this plugin will move your tracks. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I do almost all of my actual production after I create my Band-in-a-Box song. I do it in my DAW, and you can see my Band-in-a-Box song sitting up on the screen right now. I've got a Band-in-a-Box screen up that you can look at. And the old way, and I'll play a little bit of it for you, which is kind of a smooth thing. I know I'm kind of a smoother. I'm not a rocker, I'm a smoother. But anyway, so I want to move these tracks over into my DAW for further processing, adding vocals, doing all that kind of stuff, right? So the old way of doing it is I will go to like audio, and I would export audio. Let me see if I can find export audio as a song file, right? Click that and render those files and move them over into a single folder. And that was the old way of doing it prior to 2026, maybe even 2025, but I'm just saying 2026 for practical purposes, because I know that the software is included in the 2026 version. So that was the old way of doing it, right? Not overly tedious, but at the same time, it's that wee bit cumbersome to do that, because I had to render the tracks over, then find out where I put them at, and then import them into my DAW. And so this plugin actually automates a lot of that process by itself. So that's what this is all about. So the first thing we got to know is, where is the plugin? The plugin is called the Band-in-a-Box DAW Plugin. So where is the plugin? Well, if I go here, go to my file menu, and we're looking at all other stuff now, right? I go to my file menu, and my Band-in-a-Box, I have it on a disk, right? And it's actually my drive F. So I open my drive F, and I go to BB, and I look in plugin, and there's a menu there, and the plugin is right here. And if you notice the plugin, and it comes in two versions, it actually comes standalone, or it can plug it directly into your DAW. And the plugin for DAW supports a wide variety, Reaper, Sonar, Pro Tools. It does them all. Okay. So anyway, so what happens is that here's the folder with the plugin. So if you have the plugin, you should see it installed here, because when you do your installation procedures, right, it automatically installs a file in that directory. So if you don't see the product installed, then you need to go to Data in your Band-in-a-Box root directory of BP. You go to Data, you go to Installers. There's a directory Installers, and you will see the plugin installation right there. BIAB DAW plugin.exe, and you will click that, and it will actually install a program for you. But like I said, it pretty much installs by default, so you should have it already. So how do I find the file in Windows? I showed you where it was in Band-in-a-Box, but how do I find the file in Windows? Well, in Windows, right, I'll just open up my PC directory here, and I'll go to my C drive, and I will go into my program files. I look in my program files, and I'm looking for common files. I open common files, and I look down, and there's a VST3 directory down there. Open this VST3 directory, and there's my plugin right there. There's a whole directory, a whole folder for it sitting right there, right? A Band-in-a-Box DAW VST3 plugin. So I have that actually loaded up. So I found my files in Band-in-a-Box. I found my files in Windows, and now I need to find my file in Sonar, in my DAW. Again, whether you use Sonar, whether you got Pro Tools or whatever it is, right? So the first thing we need to do is, of course, we need to find that file, right? So I need to go here. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go edit. Actually, I'm going to go insert. And this may be different. In this case, it's soft synth in Sonar. It could be something else, but it's going to be in the same thing where it keeps VSTs at in your folder, right? So open up soft synth. And I look down the bottom at uncategorized, right? And there it is right there. I open it up. I make sure that it says instrument track per output. That's very important to me, is instrument track per output. There's some other things there. I leave them as default, right? As I move forward with it, doing a little bit more stuff, maybe I'll try some other stuff. But right now, you know, it's one instrument track per output. And I click OK. And the program comes up. So what happens now is that it creates all of these tracks here, which I don't need. So I'm going to delete all of them except one. I don't know why it does that. By default, I'm not exactly sure. But just to be on the safe side, I just get rid of it right off the bat. So I'm going to delete these 7 tracks. And I have one track that says Band-in-a-Box. If you look over here, there's one track that says Band-in-a-Box. When I open that, the program is actually going to open. So I hit that and I open up. And here is my DAW plugin. Again, separate from Band-in-a-Box, but at the same time connected to Band-in-a-Box. And it's ready to go. I'm going to expand the window some so you can see it a little bit better, because I know my screen may be a little bit small for some of you. I'm going to open it up a bit more, try to give it a bit more space so you can see more. So what happens is that now it's ready to go, but it doesn't have anything in it. So the song that I showed you that I was working on, I need to pull that song into the plugin. So I just go File, and it's been a recent thing, right? So I'm just going to open the song up, boom. And I click there, and it's opening up the actual song that I had in Band-in-a-Box that I showed you guys. Because remember, I want to take that and I want to move those tracks over into my DAW, you know, so I can add vocals and add other instruments if I want to do the whole 9 yards. Right? And if you notice, here are the tracks. I'm going to try to expand this a bit more. It's showing me all the tracks. It's showing me the chord sheet. It's showing me all of that, because now within the plugin itself, I can actually add part markers. I can change chords. I can regenerate certain areas of the track. I can do all of those things within this plugin. So I don't have to go back and start from Band-in-a-Box all over again. I can make a lot of these changes right here. Now, I'm not going to do it for the practice for this particular tutorial here, right? But I just want to show you what it can do right off the bat. So that's what it does. I've got my tempo. I've got my number of bars, the whole 9 yards. It's already ready to go. So that's what I'm doing. So I need to take these tracks and put these tracks into my Sonar. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to tell it to generate the WAV files. And just by clicking on that, it's automatically starting to generate the actual WAV files themselves, because that's what I want. So it's bringing the WAV files from Band-in-a-Box and bringing them into the plugin. And that way I can manipulate them even further. Takes a couple of seconds, but it's a lot faster than what it did in the old style. A whole lot faster. And while it's doing that also, I can make sure that my tempos match. Notice my tempo here is 110, and I've got my tempo already matched up here at 110. So that's a good thing. You know, I don't know what some of you guys, DAWs, may default. I know this usually defaults with a tempo opening of 120. But in this particular case, I think I might have changed it just for the purpose of this tutorial here, is I've already changed it for you. And of course, then it shows the key that it's in it. And I can change the key here also. I can do all of these things here, right? So notice it says it generated all of my tracks in 55 seconds. 55 seconds now, you know, which is a whole lot better. And it says drop and drag the tracks to your DAW tracks. So if I move over here, drag and drop the tracks into my DAW tracks. And I can close this. And I can take and drag these tracks over. And these tracks are starting to populate. They're rendering, and now they're going to populate into my DAW. It's fantastic. Saved me a lot of pain, saved me a lot of trying to find where the tracks are, saved me all of those things. So now if I shrink this template down, and as you can see now, my tracks are generated and ready to be played. And again, I just hit play. And you can hear my little clicking going on. That's it. Tracks here, ready to go. A style note now I got to clean up, I see, which the DAW is good for that, because now I can regenerate. Notice all my faders moving for the tracks. So I'm all set. All set. I just want to show you guys today again how you can do this. And it's actually pretty simple to do. It's not very difficult at all. It's got its good points, it's got its bad points, right? A little complicated, but not overly complicated. And if you look at it right here, you can see again, I can regenerate, I can make chord changes, I can change tracks, I can do all kind of neat stuff. I can change tempo, I can change key, I can do all of these things within this tool right here without ever having to go back and open up the Band-in-a-Box program because it is connected. So I only showed you a small piece of it, right? Because I know for a fact that a lot of people, I don't know for a fact, but a lot of people actually tell me about kind of things I consider to be elementary to mid-level that they use at Band-in-a-Box and not necessarily more advanced stuff. So that's why I don't spend too much time in trying to do things that are overly advanced. I know because people just kind of want to have fun and not spend all their time inside of a manual. Now, some people, I can do that, right? You know, I'm a little bit geeky, but I've got my own limits anyway. I hope this helps you guys in using this program a bit more. And also, you know, check out the channel for other tutorials because I cover quite a bit of stuff when using the Band-in-a-Box tool. And again, this AI season that we're in right now, you know, I'm sure things will settle out like they always do, you know. But this is a great opportunity for you guys who use Band-in-a-Box to actually use your stuff, create your songs, you know, and do whatever you want to do with it. Whether you want to do like I do and kind of put them in Suno sometimes, or whether you just want to have them straight up. This is a great time to do that. So again, hope you like what I did today. I hope you subscribe to the channel and look for more information about not just Band-in-a-Box, right, but things that I discover about the music industry as a whole. And I will talk to you guys later.